Hey there, it's Bobby Legs. Welcome to another episode of Bobby Legs Loves Watches. And today I'm going to be looking at watch collection pics that have been posted on some of the popular watch threads on Reddit. Now, people often do this. They want some critiques on their collection or some suggestions of what they should get next. And some people, it's more of like a silent flex, like, check out my collection, bruh. Anyway, let's get right to it and start it. First here. Now, I've hidden the names, the usernames of some of these people just to give them some anonymity on Reddit, which is they are, I guess they're pretty anonymous anyway. But anyway, let's start off with our first collection here. Let's go through these quickly. We have a Tudor Submariner, an IWC Mark 15, and a Seiko, some sort of Seiko Turtle with a GMT functionality for this three-piece collection. Now, I'm going to take these guys at their words when they say that this is their watch collection. Like, this is what I see is what their collection is here, right? They don't have like nine other watches. Now this is it, and I'm going to use my critique in that frame. I love the dive watch, this Tudor Submariner. You have obviously the dive watch, and then you have a vintagey watch here. It has patinaed very, very nicely. Now I checked the water pressure. I take it to like some sort of watchmaker to make sure that the resistance is still good there before I go out there and dive with this watch. If you do that, but chances are you're probably not doing that, right? But it's a classic look. Kudos, love that watch. Let's move over to the IWC Mark 15. Got no problem with this, even though it's a smaller pilot watch. I like the like pilot watch like a little bit bigger. Like, that's what they were made for. They were supposed to be big, big dials on this one, but this one is probably like in the 39, 38 to 39 range. Maybe it's a 36. But anyway, this is a nice sporty piece that you can double definitely for sure with a as a nice a formal watch, right? If you put a nice little leather strap here on it. I like the bracelet. It makes it very sporty, a very versatile timepiece and easily legible, right? And then you have the Seiko Turtle GMT. Now, if you're going to travel with this watch, this is not a terribly expensive watch, right? So yeah, it makes sense, especially if you go to some areas of the world that may have a reputation for crime and whatnot. But this is where I have a little critique, and I would like to step it up, just to to be like in the same kind of like price point and range that you're following with the other timepieces. That's I'm going to use that as a guide, and you don't necessarily need to break the bank here. You can go with a Longines Zulu time. I think that's a spectacular GMT watch. And you could probably find great deals on new ones, even better deals on the secondary market. Anyway, you throw that in there, and I think you have an exquisite three-piece collection. Okay, moving on to this collection here. This is an outside or farther away shot here, but let's drill right into it. He added some slides here, and we have a Baltic Hermetique. Baltic, a darling in the micro brand space. They obviously use a lot of influence from previous watchmakers in the past, right? And so you're gonna get that kind of look, that vintage look on Baltic. I'm not a huge fan of Baltic watches. I've had a couple in for review, and aesthetically, while they're pleasing, I just don't feel like they're that original. And I don't know, they just didn't feel really solid. But it's not. I'm not going to knock the pick, right? I mean, if you like it, you like it, right? Uh, Going now with the Christopher Ward 12. Now, this watch is a hot watch. I love this dial, and I'm a big fan of the integrated sports bracelet look. So nice watch here, very sporty, very summery, right, with that dial. I feel like this is a good summer watch. And finally, here in this collection, you have a Seiko Presage. I don't know the exact reference number, but it's one of these cocktail times. And this is also a nice little um, formal, informal kind of piece, right? I mean, you could wear this with jeans, obviously, and maybe dress it up, change the strap, and you go with for a formal event. Let's get back here to the whole collection shot. I feel like the Baltic and the Seiko serve the same purpose here, and you can definitely call one off out of the collection. I would take out the Baltic, and I would get some sort of diver. And in this range, why not a Black Bay 58? A Black Bay 58 diver paired up with that Christopher Ward and that Seiko Presage. Not a bad three-piece collection for sure. Okay, let's move on to the next collection. And my man has got a gold GMT Rolex root beer A day date, I think that's gold too. Sometimes with the pictures, it could look like it's gold, but it might be like white gold. But I'm pretty sure that's yellow gold. And then he's got an Apple Watch. And this is like one of these things where it's like, hey, check out my collection. And this is like a total, flex, right? And to me, this is not a collection. I mean, I love Rolex, and a gold GMT is amazing. A gold day date, amazing timepieces, and on its own, the functionality of an Apple Watch, it is what it is. But if I'm taking your word for that, this is like your watch collection. This is not much of a collection to me. This is just like somebody who just likes Rolex, and who is not into the idea of collecting watches. Now, I don't know this guy's history. I mean, maybe he's had gone through thousands of watches and has finally found these. But I'm just going by what I see here, and this is not much of a collection to me, right? I have. I'm not hating on the Apple Watch. I mean, I understand its functionality, and I'm not hating on the Rolex because I love Rolex, as I said before. But this is what I would do, right? I mean, keep the day date. Even though I love the root beer, it's one of my favorite watches of all time. I trade out of it, get something a little bit more interesting, a little bit more compelling, in regards to a watch. Maybe go with like a Dreamliner Chrono, right? Moser, right? That's an interesting piece, right? And it's a sporty piece. Let's say, how about a Brigade traditional, right? If you want like a high end, dressy piece, assuming that the day date, which obviously is dressy because it's gold, but it's a sports watch. There's so many ways you can go about and doing this collection here. Go with a Blancpain 50 fathoms for a dive watch. Keep it high end, right? But like let's get a little variety here. You can sell one of those watches and pick up two or three other bangers and have a heck of a collection. Okay, and here we go. We got another three-piece collection here. We have a Speedy um, Omega Speedmaster. We have a Tank Cartier and a Santos. I love the Santos, one of my favorite watches. Definitely approve of that. Look, I mean, the Seamaster, sure. Judging by this, by the price point that you're in, I mean, maybe I'm just making assumptions. You got to give me some latitude here. But if this is the price point that you're in, yeah, I mean, I have no complaints with that. It balances the black dial, right? Balances out definitely the white dial of the Santos. Now you have the tank here, and to me, it's a little bit of Cartier overkill. Maybe you like the brand, and that's fine with you, but it's a little bit of Cartier overkill. I would go somewhere else here. Maybe I would go with a Rolex Explorer. You know, or an Alcantara here if you don't mind getting too heavy in Omega, right? I mean, there's so many other great pieces here that we can consider. If you want to do something dressy, hey, why don't you think German, like Nomos, right? Why don't we do a Nomos Tangenti here? That's a little bit different and still kind of dressy, right? If you don't like Nomos, then let's see what else. Habring, a nice little dressy Habring piece. Think Austrian. I'm gonna make the German suggestions because that's what I like. Anyway, but not bad, not bad. Okay, and finally we got another tank Cartier Tudor Black Bay 58. Uh, Grand Seiko 9F quartz and Omega Speedmaster. I got no problems with this one. I think this is just great, great balance in the collection. You have your iconic Speedmaster. You have the Black Bay 58, which I've owned several times over, and I love. It's a dive watch, but you can dress it up. If you put on a strap, a brown leather strap on it, and it makes it a little bit more formal, but you can still dress that up. You have a 9F quartz Grand Seiko. Grand Seiko, known for their great finishing. That watch has great accuracy as a GMT and just a great, great timepiece. And then you have your little formal Cartier there as well. Anyway, no problem with this collection. Kudos, you've done a great job. Anyway, guys, hey, let me know what you think. Please put a comment below. And maybe I'll make more of these videos if you like them. Anyway, let me know. Let me know how I did today. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.